and welcome back into a brand new episode of Tribal Council Chat. As always, we are your hosts. My name is Bruce Heller.
And my name's Brett Parnell.
And let's dive in. Since this is kind of your idea for the episode this week, do you want to explain it to the good people?
Sure, absolutely. So we haven't done a draft in a while. We haven't done a simulation in a while.
I don't think we've
I
ever
thought
done a
we
simulation. I don't remember the last time we
that's
drafted either.
well, we've simulated our own casts that we've built. So this will kind of be similar.
Did we do that on the air?
I don't remember.
Me neither.
We might have not. Either way.
Oh well.
So, and also shout out to our survivor on Reddit, because that's what gave me the theme idea for this. We've talked before about doing different podcasts about twists. I sometimes want to do, like, as we talk about, to talk about our favorite twists. I think that makes a better episode than this specifically on its own. So we are today doing the drafting tribes, and then we're going to simulate between the top players that have been completely had their game screwed over by production.
And what are our tribe sizes?
Based on the limited cast, I decided to put this in Field as Survivor Africa, the first time we ever see players qualify really for this. I mean, if you can think of one in the first two seasons, by all means, feel free to use them. But so we are going to be doing 16 players, 8 on each track.
Okay.
So we'll draft 4 men and 4 women each. We'll see what our tribes do at the end. We'll simulate it as if it was a whole season, and then we'll let the audience say who won the draft.
Nice.
So, Bruce, it was my idea for the theme. Do you want to pick first?
Sure. Are you keeping track of draft choices, or do I need to be writing them down?
No, I have a notepad up that I'll put them in and get them into Brad Steele right away.
So this is gonna sound a little crazy because this person ended up finishing second place, but I'm gonna take Natalie Anderson for being voted out first in Winners at War for production, putting her on the same tribe as someone that she's very close with outside of the game, and everyone there knew it.
Natalie A. That is an amazing pick, and well, as we go along too, we'll also talk about some of these historic moments that led to some incorrect decisions being made or players being completely screwed over with their games. That's a great pick. I never even had Natalie on my radar. So you shocked me right away, and I like it. Yeah, the fact that she was put on a tribe with Jeremy and it wasn't by random draw or by schoolyard pick, but that it was done directly behind the scenes definitely qualifies her for this position. I mean, the relationship is more than just 2 winners. Natalie is the godmother of one of Jeremy's children.
Mm-hmm.
That is always going to make you a target in Survivor that could have been so easily avoided to the benefit of both of their games.
But came all the way back and finished second place, though, so good for her.
Yeah, very good for her. So you start with a female player. That makes you have room now for 3 female, 4 male players. We'll update the audience as we go, but I'm going to now drop Natalie into your tribe.
Woohoo.
No. Natalie Anderson, 40. There we go. So you went all the way in season 40 for my first pick of a player whose game was completely messed up by production. I'm going to go all the way back as early as I could think of, and that's Lex. This comes down to where we see probably one of the most entertaining parts of old school Survivor, be it the Fallen Comrades challenge, cease to exist, as Lex correctly answered a question on which female contestant does not have any ear body piercings, being Lindsay Richter, who was one possible answer. There was two, but production did not know that, thus awarding Kim Johnson a point and not Lex. Lex went on to lose the challenge to Kim Johnson and then see Tom be voted out of the game in fourth. He was voted out of the game in third, and Ethan ends up winning the game, of which, as a result, CBS awarded both Lex and Tom the second place prize after the season ended. And then we see this challenge be used in Marquesas, since it was probably too late to film again. And then after that, it was never used again.
I totally forgot that happened. I was trying to figure out how Lex was screwed over by production, and I guess that, yeah, that does kind of count. Because Kim probably goes there if Lex wins. So
yeah, I mean, at that point, Lex, Tom, and Ethan was pretty much an unbreakable guys alliance.
What happens if that's the final three?
That is a great question. I mean, we'll never really know what would have happened in immunity because Kim wins it.
Yeah.
So the game is entirely different.
Yeah. Good point.
All right, it's your pick next.
I am going to keep my theme of going with super late seasons. I started with 40 last time. I'm going to go back one season this time to 39 and say Kelly Kim.
Nice. Yeah, I would definitely put Kelly on my list. She was in all names I had in contention. There's no reason in any rational expectation that anything should have happened in this case other than Dan being thrown out of the game right away. That was probably production's biggest miss in the 30s. It should have never happened, and really, unfortunately, changed the game and changed the show for the negative.
Mm-hmm. And it kind of creates a dark cloud over what's otherwise a fairly entertaining season.
Yeah, absolutely. Only to get worse as the season progresses.
Yeah.
And then we get to the point where, at least from what I heard, despite our idols having a fairly entertaining cast, nobody was in contention for 50 from that cast, which is unfortunate.
Unfortunate, but not really surprising.
No, not surprising.
I mean, thinking about that season, the only one I would think they'd call is Dean, but I really don't need to see him again, even. So
yeah, that's fair.
Like, it was an entertaining season, but not enough to where I feel the need to see people return.
Yeah, maybe not for something like 50, but if they did something like Second Chances, I'd be down to see, say, Elizabeth or Jamal get another shot.
Yeah, I forgot about Jamal. I still wouldn't put him on 50, but I would like
to see him
again.
I wouldn't either. All right, so you started at Winners at War and went one season back. I'm going to now start at Winners at War and go one season forward. I can't possibly do this theme and not talk about Sydney Segal and the first Hourglass twist. Both Hourglass twists were horrible. This one is even worse in my mind, not only because Sydney goes from winning the challenge to going home, which also happened to Lydia, but because Erica, who broke the Hourglass, was probably going that night until she was presented with the opportunity to commit the worst twist in the history of Survivor, and then goes on to win the game.
I wouldn't say worst twist in the history of Survivor, because Palau sent two people home at the marooning. So,
we'll get there. One way or another.
Sydney and Lydia at least got to play. So, wait, Lydia didn't break it though.
No, Lydia got voted out because of it, just like
Oh,
Sydney.
yeah, okay.
They have the exact same spot in survival history.
Nice choice. Hmm.
So you have to pick 4 men and 2 women.
Yeah. This is interesting because I'm always the one that, like, when people want to claim someone was screwed over by production, I'm like, well, not really. Hmm.
I'll put it this way: for the theme of this, even if there might be cases on both sides, I just kind of went with anything that people can argue to make my list of potential picks.
That's fair. Hmm. I wanted to take a guy here, but I'm drawing a blank, so I'm just gonna take the easy route and say Suri on Game Changers.
Nice.
The only time she was actually screwed over by production, by the way.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Game changers, especially. I know people argue the other ones, but in my mind, I don't know why anybody argues it from Exile Island. She lost in fire. I mean, that's the game. As far as Micronesia goes, I see where people are coming from, but at the same time, like I've said many times in this podcast, Survivor has had 5-2 at the point of Survivor Micronesia, 13 out of the 15 seasons before it. So you have to expect that. Game Changers, on the other hand, Suli was totally screwed over by production simply because there shouldn't be that many idols in one game. And I mean, I like that they've rectified this to an extent with, even though I know production loves how many twists they can put in the game, they've decided to go more of the advantage route so that way it's not all even if every player plays an advantage, they're not all saying I'm safe, which is much better. But it was unfortunate to see that it cost Suri in this way, especially considering that she was such a big threat and none of the votes were in her direction.
Yeah. I don't see a way she wins that season anyway, but that's just the sucky way to go out.
Fair. All right.
Oh, now I think of a guy I could have taken. Oh well.
Okay, next round, I'm sure. I am gonna go with somebody here that I'm between a few names. Yeah, I'm gonna go with someone here that doesn't get talked about much. I mean, I don't think he's got talked about since this season. And that's Sean from Survivor Pearl Islands, who
Oh
was
gosh.
the victim of the first ever way to get back into the game. At this point, Sean effectively should have made the merge. And instead, he goes home. Well, Lil takes his spot on.
I feel like we as the audience lose either way on that one. I really don't need more screen time from either of them.
That's fair. But as there might be a trend in this, don't need screen time from anyone who's got the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. That kind of, in my mind, goes against the purpose of the game as Mark designed it.
Yes, but when it's Devon's, I'm okay with it because he's very entertaining.
Okay, fair.
Okay, so I am also going with someone that doesn't get thought or talked about very much. Well, I can't read minds. Maybe he does get thought about a lot, but this is Aaron Reisberger from China, who
That's a good one.
China's whole theme was like art of war from that book. Okay, stop squeaking your toy, please. And they had this like kidnap twist for the swap, where each tribe picked 2 people from the other team.
What a bad swap.
Yeah, it's my favorite season, but it's one of the worst ways they've done a swap because it encourages the minority tribe, Jean Hu, to throw a challenge and vote out a Fei Long.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hate throwing challenges, so. Yeah, I'm taking Aaron here.
All right. So you have 3 women and 1 halfway through your draft. I am going to make my team equal at this point and draft another woman. I am going with a player's exit that you and the audience is probably sick of me talking about. Except in one episode when I made sure not to bring it up. And that's Maria from 46. The fact that Jeff did not stop that challenge in my mind qualifies as production screw.
I feel like that's more screwed over by Liz than anything.
Well, Probe should have said, no, you have to do your own challenge.
Yeah. Well. The funniest thing is, like, he has said, like, with that or with the shot in the dark on 47 being given up for Rice, he's like, just because it happens once doesn't mean it'll happen again.
That's it.
Every season. So that same thing could happen next season, and maybe he shuts it down. Who knows?
Oh, exactly. But it's almost hard to do because, like, and I don't even think this one was necessarily Jeff's intention or his fault. I think he was just as surprised watching it as any of us. When you can see the reaction of Jeff just going, Liz, are you helping Kenzie here?
I feel like at that point, everything's fair. Liz is doing what she believes is best for her game, and what was best for her was Maria not winning. So I was fine with it, honestly.
That's fine. In my mind, I think that the social game is about your interactions, but once you get to a challenge, it's everyone for themselves. Otherwise, we'll be running tribal challenges at Final 8 where 6 people gang up against 2 every single time, no matter what.
I don't think it'll ever become that common, but I kind of see your point.
All right, who are you going with next?
I am going to go with... Let's say Dan from David versus Goliath, because he was the victim of the idol nullifier, which is like, how do you have an idol and still go home?
That is a good one. Yeah, I really like this. You're right. I mean, the fact that we got idol nullifiers into Survivor shows exactly what the audience has been saying for many years at that point, and that's that there's too many idols. The solution to too many advantages, it is a big production screwing an individual player. They shouldn't be putting more advantages to now counteract advantages because the problem is there's too many advantages. So yeah, that's a great pick.
Thank you.
All right. So I now have 2 men and 2 women. I am going to go with... I'm going to go with a player whose game was messed up by production from a totally different angle.
Okay.
In this one. And I'm going to Survivor Korong, and I'm going to pick Caleb here.
Huh.
He wasn't messed up by the game in terms of production, but production completely failed this cast in terms of putting them in elements that were physically unsafe. And you cannot be having to boil water just to make a TV show in 120-degree weather. And we see, unlike other medevacs, which happen all the time in Survivor, somebody gets a cut, or they break their arm, like Courtney did, falling in a challenge, or that sort of thing. Caleb's situation was different. That man almost died out there. Because production just decided, you know what, they don't actually need water to live in Cambodia in the middle of the hot season.
Yeah.
So that is where I'm going to go with my fifth pick.
Physically and environment-wise, that and Africa are definitely the two toughest seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
They Koh Rong at least had easy access to water, though. Africa kind of didn't.
Africa didn't have easy access to water, no, but at least they had a way of getting fire pretty much right away.
Yeah, that's true.
It was the telescope lenses were in the supply kit from, I guess it would be the mooning. You're not really mooning if a truck is letting you off, but you get the idea.
So
all right. Yeah, it's you. You have the spots for 2 more men and 1 more woman. Looking at this so far, it looks like it would be a pretty competitive season.
Yeah, it'd be a really fun cast, honestly.
Yeah. And we'll see who else gets added to it.
I'm going to say Russell because Samoa obviously should have been America and the fans voting for a win.
Okay, I'll take it. Oh no, okay. I thought you were serious.
Clearly joking. Don't send us angry messages. I don't.
I'm gonna be honest. When I was looking up controversial Survivor moments, one of them was said. One of the most controversial Survivor moments was Rupert getting $1 million as a result of fans voting, and it delegitimized the actual game. So hey.
Yeah, that's a little much, but oh wow.
Yeah. Hey, we had to make an All-Stars reference in this season.
Yeah.
Or in this episode. Even if it's Survivor All-Stars, America's Tribal Council. Whatever that meant, I was really excited for it when I was in grade 6.
America's Tribal Council is awesome. I watched that when I rewatched All-Stars.
Yeah.
Both times.
The only thing I remember about it was having to watch it at a friend's house because late before it started, somebody down the street from me had a lightning bolt hit their satellite dish and it knocked out power to the whole street.
Huh. I know nothing about him, but I'm just blanking on guy names right now. So I'm going with Jonathan Libby from Palau.
Nice.
Why we couldn't have just finished the schoolyard pick, I don't know. But two people that didn't got picked got sent home and never got to play. So
yeah, he was definitely on my list of players to take. If there's one way that you want to argue, and you brought this up, but that something was more unfair than the hourglass twist, it's the fact that Jonathan and Wanda were told you were on Survivor and never actually got to be on Survivor or go to a tribal council. The whole purpose of this game is you lose by hearing the words the tribe has spoken at tribal council and watching Jeff snuff your flame, not never getting to light a flame because of complete nonsense. The one thing I did hear, though, that is interesting, and I don't know if this is real or not, but just while I was doing some research into it, I've seen a rumor that may very well be true that said until they became massive fan favorites, Jonathan and Wanda were supposed to be the two players to come back in Guatemala, but then they realized how much the audience loved Bobby, John, and Steph after Oolong's utter destruction.
Makes sense.
It does make sense. I feel bad. It makes me feel even worse for the two of them, but
it does. But at the same time, if that is true, I feel like that was the right decision still.
Yeah.
Because Steph and Bobby John contributed so much to Guatemala as a season. So
they did. But I mean, how would we have known that or known what they were going to do in Palau?
Yeah.
All right. So I now have 2 women and 1 man left to draft, or 1 man left to draft. I am going to take a female from Survivor Cook Islands here, and that's Jenny Guzan-Bay. Jenny Guzan-Bay from Survivor Cook Islands.
Yeah.
Jenny was voted out of the game after a bottle was opened that said, "You have now voted out 1 member of your tribe. You must now vote out a second one." I don't know if this was put into the game at the last minute because of the mutiny twist, or if they needed to get to the merge. If there's all sorts of reasons that people have, but unlike who was it? I can't remember who goes out first before Jenny in that tribal council, but unlike the Rebecca, that's the name. Thank you.
I'm reading it right now. She was on the article I was reading.
Unlike Rebecca, who went home the traditional way, if the tribe comes in with the plan of voting out Rebecca and Jenny is in on that plan, then Jenny does not have any chance to know, hey, we need to vote out 2 people. Now I need to fight for my own life.
Yeah.
It was just complete random, and I don't know why production decided to do that. It just seemed wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So you now have your final 2 picks.
I do. Okay, I think I'm going to go with my final female here. And this really isn't production's fault. This is the player's fault. So if you want to throw a flag on this, go ahead.
I'm just going to say, as I said at the beginning, whatever we consider to be production's fault goes, because there'll always be people with different opinions, and we all know that Survivor fans like to say each other are wrong as often as they possibly can.
I don't think production can actually be blamed here. I just want this person on my team, and you'll see what I mean in a second.
I have a feeling I know who this is. Oh, I do not know who this is. Go ahead.
And so at one point, Probe says, okay, both tribes are going to one beach, which we later learned was meant to be like a one world situation. Well, everyone on the show in the game assumed it was not a one world thing, but a merge thing. And so Xi'an kind of starts playing with the other tribe. She doesn't like her tribe, and it's Survivor Thailand, so that's fair with either tribe. But it's not a merge, and her tribe votes her out. So I'm not sure if she really qualifies as screwed by production as much as just...
Oh, I would say she does.
Oh, like, they never said the word merge, though. Like, it was just an assumption everyone made. Like, I don't feel like that's production's fault, but I want Xi'an on my team, so I'm using it anyway.
Nice. I really like that pick. She was definitely on my list, so I absolutely say it qualifies.
Not production's fault, though.
You're right that they didn't say there was a merge, they also didn't say you're still two tribes or anything, so I can see how anyone would be confused by that.
I feel like until he says you're not, though, like,
feel like if this, let's hypothetically say that Thailand never existed. If this happened in the new era, it's totally fair game because everybody knows expect the unexpected. Back then, Survivor Africa doing a tribe swap was revolutionary. Most of the game was spent either forming one alliance all the way to the end or just socializing with strangers that you put on an island with, or maybe going on a hike so that they can get stock footage for the tourism board.
See, I go the other way. I feel like it's more understandable to assume a merge in Thailand, and now it would be kind of dumb.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, but assuming it now, I don't have any sympathy the way.
Exactly. That's my point.
But because I have a different reason.
Okay.
When Thailand aired, we hadn't seen two separate tribes on one beach before. Yeah. We've had Survivor One World now. So that could be in people's heads.
Makes sense.
Like, unless they actually say the word merge, assume you're not.
You're not merged. Exactly.
Especially because of Thailand. But no, I don't believe that was production's fault.
And unless they actually say you made the merge, assume you didn't make the merge because Sydney and Lydia were completely robbed of the game.
Yeah.
And then later in that, if they don't say you made the jury, assume you didn't make the jury. Coming later in the new.
Yeah.
All right, so you brought up a situation from Thailand that you said correctly that we've never seen before. And I'm going to make my last male pick here and pick another player that I think was more the victim of not seeing something play out that did play out in a previous season. But they didn't get to see it as the cast because they were playing the current season while that season aired. So the last band I'm going to add to my team is Dreams from Survivor Fiji, who was, rather than Jeff saying to them, hey, just so you guys know, Survivor might not be a final two, he let them negotiate where spots in the game for Yao Man's car award with a guy who never owned a car before, only to have a situation where the game was then turned on its head, something we all knew was coming of a final three from Cook Islands, but the players never saw Cook Islands. So the terms and conditions of that negotiation were botched, and then we get to Final Tribal, and everybody thinks that Dreams is somehow the worst person in the world who stole Yao Man's truck. And I don't necessarily think that that was his fault. I think that him and Yao Man negotiated a way to see Yao Man get to, I'll give you the truck as a way to earn my chance to fight for a spot in Final Three. And instead, it turned out to be by going to Final Three, that's not final immunity. Final Four's final immunity, and now I've just bought a truck for $1 million.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, and we see it a few times, that I'm like, if there's a big game-changing shift in a previous season, and maybe the fact that we're in Fiji and we're filming seasons back-to-back, we probably won't have this problem anymore. But if other than, I guess, the even-numbered season that comes right after, so hold on for 50 and hope for the best, because 42 should have probably known about the hourglass, let's say.
No, but they filmed back-to-back. They had no way of seeing the hourglass.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying production should, if they do something like shift from a Final 2 to a Final 3 one season, should maybe tell them in Ponderosa before the game starts, just so you guys know last season was a Final Three.
Or just say, screw it, we're having a Final Four. Just
You
throw
never
all
know.
the crazy ideas at them all at once.
That would be complete nuts. But I mean, let me just ask you, because we've never talked about this. Would a Final Four be completely out of the realm of possibility for 50, considering we have 24 players?
Yes, I think so, but I would be okay with it if they did it. It would be wild.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it benefits players I like.
Imagine if they keep the Final Four fire making challenge and then they're just like, and it's now day 26. That would be funny.
But they already voted to get rid of fire, so Final Four fire isn't happening.
Oh, did they confirm that?
I'm pretty sure.
I heard that the vote might have somehow went the opposite way.
About that twist.
Oh, I know how the fan base is, but I heard the vote might have went the opposite way.
I don't see any way that fans would vote to keep that twist. It was probably a 90-10 vote.
I don't see any way that Russia has fair elections, but somehow the same guy always wins.
Well, I give it a 0% chance that forced fire returns.
We will see in 50. I agree with you. It's unlikely, but I'm going to say there's about a 2% chance.
Nah.
All right, you have one more male to pick.
Excuse me. I really think we've covered everyone who was screwed by production, so I'm like racking my mind here.
I got a few left on my list.
Yeah, you prepared better than me.
Fair enough.
If I hadn't filled all my female spots, I would jokingly say Aubrey for the remove a juror, but
just because you like to troll me about Aubrey and Natalie.
Occasionally.
And I just troll you about the Winnipeg Jets.
That was savage. That was really funny. It made me sad, but it was really funny. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to say Neil anyway and say Neil got screwed out of his chance to give a jury speech.
Yeah. Great pick.
I mean, he was already voted out. It really, like, his game was over, but it's funny, so I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's a great point. Another one I don't necessarily agree with just because I really like this twist, not only because it benefits my favorite player of all time, but also just because I loved what it brought to the game. But yeah, I totally see that, especially for someone like Neil, who was such a big super fan. And you could tell that while I think his outburst to Michelle was a bit inappropriate, you could tell how much being part of that jury would have meant to him.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so that leaves me to my final female pick. And I am going to go to Survivor Nicaragua and take Purple Kelly here.
What?
Production did not let her bring any clothes that they let the rest of the competitors bring.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It was to see the way that she's dressed in rainy season compared to the other 17 players is just unfair.
Yeah.
And I mean, I will blame Nayanka for quitting because I'll blame Nayanka for everything that she did that was just inappropriate that season. But I can't blame Kelly for quitting when you're sitting in a tiny bikini in the middle of the rainy season where there's thunderstorms every day and you're probably sleeping feeling like you're about to get hypothermia.
Yeah. True. Good one.
So that is going to wrap up our cast. I am going to share my screen now.
Oh, and don't forget Colton also.
Oh, Colton did not get production screwed. He met. Oh, Bruce, you've disabled screen sharing.
Oh. Colton had his reputation smeared when they said I brought a quitter back. He technically didn't quit the first time.
Oh, yes, he quit.
Well, he didn't make. I hate that you're making me do this, and I brought it on myself, but he didn't make the final call. The doctors did. So
I guess because he faked it.
But he didn't. They told him they were pulling him technically.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So we are now. I will make this screen bigger in just a second.
Is that your nephew in the background? I see a tiny hand.
That is my nephew in the background. If I can figure it out. There we go. Yes, that is my nephew in the background. That was him at about 2 weeks. He's now 19 months. And do they ever start to grow quickly?
Yeah.
All right, so now we have our two tribes. We'll do a social post on this. We're going to ask you guys who you think won the draft, probably for our first post of the week. But Bruce, your tribe is going to be Aaron from Survivor China, Suri from Survivor 20% of the seasons they've ever shot. Dan from Survivor
Game Changers this time.
Yeah, specifically Game Changers, you're right. Dan from Survivor David versus Goliath. Jonathan, who played one day on Survivor Palau and never got onto a tribe. Kelly from Survivor Island of the Idols. Natalie from Survivor Winners at War. Neil from Survivor Korong. And Xian from Survivor Thailand. My team is going to be Caleb from Survivor Korong. Dreams from Survivor Fiji. Jenny from Survivor Cook Islands, Kelly from Survivor Nicaragua. That would be Kelly Shin, or Purple Kelly as she's better known as, not Kelly Bruto. Production didn't do anything that negatively affected her. Nayanka tackling her to the ground probably harmed her, but...
Production put Nayanka out there, though.
Fair enough. Lex Vandenberg, notably from Survivor Africa in this case, but also All-Stars. Maria Gonzalez from Survivor 46, Sean Cohen from Survivor Pearl Islands, and Sydney Segal from Survivor 41. Ready to get this going?
I feel like one of my women is going to win.
All right. Well, let's get it going and see. There are no alliances in either tribe. Brett's tribe wins immunity and the first reward. You're off
going to the sanctuary where good things happen. Well, you're going to the sanctuary where good things happen.
This is old school Survivor. I get 50 waterproof matches according to this screen.
Well, you're going to the old sanctuary. It's old Survivor. I don't know.
The sanctuary in Wamba, Kenya. That's just alliances. Oh, Caleb is medically evacuated from the game due to an injury. Surprise.
This is like when I run simulations and Francesca gets first boot. Like, some things are just meant to happen, I guess.
And we also see Dreams and Sydney getting into a fight. I mean, is that not a clash of two huge personalities that Survivor could possibly put together of everybody that's ever played? Tribal Council is canceled. Caleb is no longer in the game.
One episode in and I'm up. I have the numbers advantage. Let's go.
Hey, we already talked in this episode about losing immunity and still having a numbers advantage. I didn't really intend it to be that way. Episode 2. Bruce's tribe wins reward. You have blankets, food, and other supplies.
Oh, when I win, it's only reward. When you win, it's reward and immunity.
Well, I just want immunity, so
Aw.
remember that this is not modern survival. The world challenges and immunity challenges were different scenes in pretty much every episode except the premiere episode.
True.
Cheyenne is injured, but she can stay in the game.
Oh, well, that's good.
Sean and Sydney have a major fight, and we have votes. First vote, Suri, Jonathan. Suri, Jonathan. Suri, Jonathan. And Suri, the first person voted out of this game is Suri Fields.
That's a smart move by my tribe, honestly.
It is a smart move. She would have been a very big threat if she got into the merge.
And I don't think this will happen. I think that'd be a smart move for her tribe on 50 to make, honestly.
Yeah.
Hope I'm wrong. I hope they don't do it, but I could.
And our tribes are at equal numbers going into episode 3. We have Bruce winning the award again.
Woohoo.
And your tribe also wins immunity.
Yay! I don't think we've ever actually gone through a sim on the show. This is really fun.
This is fun. We have Aaron, Kelly, and Natalie Anderson in an alliance together on your tribe.
That is a fantastic grouping.
It is. We have Sydney's getting in fights with everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I hope that does not happen on the challenge. And we have Sydney versus Maria getting votes, and it's Sydney who exits the game in the number 3 spot.
Yeah.
Seems I won't comment on the irony here.
I have the numbers advantage again. Let's go.
Yes, you do have the numbers advantage. You win a reward.
Let's go.
You win the food items used in the challenge. And immunity.
Yes.
But Aaron is medically evacuated from the game due to an injury.
That's illegal.
And there's now an alliance on my tribe between Purple Kelly, Lex, and Sean.
Huh. Interesting.
Tribal Council is canceled, so we've each now lost a player due to medevac and a player due to vote. 4 episodes in, about to hit that mythical journey that we saw 3 players take in Africa, and there's 4 players. Oh, sorry, two players out of 4 down to votes or to injury. Each players are asked to pick 3 representatives. Jonathan, Neil, and Cheyenne will go take a walk for your tribe. Lex, Maria, and Sean will go for my tribe. Yet each of these players are now switching tribes. So we're at equal numbers on both tribes.
That's wild. I don't like that.
Bruce's tribe wins a reward that is now half and half. So Dan, Kelly, Lex, Maria, Natalie, and Sean are safe. Oh no, that's just a reward. They win 3 chickens. They also win immunity
also. Nice.
So I'm good. And the votes coming from my tribe is 1 for Dreams, 1 for Jonathan, 2 for Dreams, 3 for Dreams, 2nd for Jonathan, and the 4th vote for Dreams. Dreams is now out of the game in 5th place. 5th from the bottom. The 5 on my tribe win food and immunity. Purple Kelly has quit her alliance.
Well, she is good at quitting.
I saw that coming the second I said it.
I mean, it's right there.
We have 1 vote for Maria. Dan. That's enough. The tribe has spoken for Dan. Darn. And we are now at merge time, and I believe, Yeah,
Even, I
let's
believe.
count this up. Jenny, Malia, Kelly, Sean, Lex. Yeah, 5-5 from our first picks. And you said a female from your tribe was going to win.
And
I mean,
three
you
of the
still
four of them are
have
there.
Sheehan, Kelly, and Natalie. So you got a great shot at that. Maria wins the first individual immunity. Liz is not pleased.
Come on, Sheehan, get in there and start helping other people.
In contrast, we have votes here. Jonathan, Kelly, Sheehan, Kelly, Jonathan. Sheehan, Kelly, Jonathan. Jonathan.
What are these votes?
Jonathan goes home 4-3-3.
What the heck was that?
That was a bizarre vote.
Who are the four?
The four that voted for Jonathan?
Yeah, Kelly, Natalie, and Neil. Okay, yeah. So we have a cross-tribal thing going here.
We do.
The Exile Island Alliance is finally happening.
Kelly shows a reward with Purple Kelly, and they go to the African village that we saw Ethan and Lex on in the real show.
This is the weirdest reboot ever.
Kelly has won individual immunity for the second round.
There we go. Kelly Kim, that is.
Yes, Kelly Kim, that is. Natalie Anderson has left her alliance.
Uh-oh.
Lex and Maria have a fight. First vote, Natalie Anderson. Maria, and that's unanimous. Maria's out of the game.
Wow.
Final 8. Group 2 wins reward. So that's Kelly, Purple Kelly, and Neil win a trip to the movies. I mean, that would be a little less awkward than Brandon and Frank.
I think most things would be less awkward than Brandon and Frank, honestly.
Pretty much. Lex has one individual immunity, so we've had 3 immunity challenges and 3 winners.
I think Lex and Kelly Goldsmith would be less awkward than Brandon and Frank.
Yeah, I think so. I think Lex and Boston Rob would be less awkward than Brandon and Frank.
Oh my god, that's close. Oh my gosh. Now I want to see that.
Yeah. All right, time to vote. Sean, Kelly. 1 vote left, and it's Sean. Sean is out of the game. Kelly Kim just survives. I was getting worried here when I saw Kelly votes. I'm like, is everybody going to get voted out at 1 week after winning individual immunity?
She's been in trouble like every episode since the merge.
Yeah. Okay. This is the auction.
Oh.
It doesn't really matter.
What were some of the prizes?
Coffee with sugar and a chocolate croissant, cheese and crackers, beer, ice cream sundae with chocolate syrup, a mug of chocolate syrup, a covered item where Natalie Anderson's got cheese and crackers, beer, fried chicken, mashed potato, gravy, and vegetables.
She's gotten like half the auction items.
Purple Kelly wins a meatball marinara hoagie, and Kelly Kim has the famous covered item of breakfast where Tom is just hilarious.
What's the Tom quote? He's a Jew, he won't eat the ham.
That's right. When he shares a pork-filled breakfast with Ethan. And Tom is all excited because they split the money equally.
Also, the Australian Outback auction was cooler because they had a glass of Mountain Dew in theirs.
And they also had a glass of river water.
Well, yeah, you win some, you lose some.
Jenny Guzon Bay's won immunity.
Huh.
First vote, Kelly, Lex. and Lex. Kelly survives again. Lex is voted out a week after winning
They are
immunity.
bound and determined to vote for Kelly. There's like 2 or 3 people that are just doing this every time.
Yeah. And we have the final 6, which today would be a finale, but in this point was nowhere close to one.
And 3 out of the 6 are women from my tribe.
Kelly, Kim, and Shian share a reward and get to go on safari.
There you go.
Jenny is the first player to win 2 individual immunities.
That's not great.
It's great for me.
What happened between her and Neil there?
They have a minor disagreement.
Oh.
I mean, that's nothing.
It is Neil. Well, this is
Kelly.
2 of my people.
Kelly, Natalie, Kelly, that's enough. Kelly Kim has not been able to survive 4 votes in a row of being targeted.
You know what? I'm surprised happy she lasted as long as she did. She has to have the most votes by now, right?
Yeah, final 5. So you have a 3-2 advantage. I have Jenny and Purple Kelly. You have Natalie, Neil, and Shian left in the game. Purple Kelly wins the color award. We all know what that means.
It means she's going to make a deal with Yao Man and then go back on her word, right?
No.
Oh, that was Dreams. Sorry, that was
Dreams. He's gone. Shian has won immunity. First vote, Jenny. Second vote, Natalie. Third vote, Natalie. Fourth vote, Jenny. Final vote cast is for Natalie Anderson, who exits the game right before the finale.
I don't like the way these past couple episodes have gone. The season's really going downhill all of a sudden.
Well, it's tied 2-2 going into the finale night.
Well, that's not great.
And notably here, you'll notice that this Final 4 was an alliance the whole way through the game. So
impressive.
Purple Kelly wins immunity at 4.
Ruh-roh.
It's time to vote. Shian, Jenny, Neil, Jenny. Jenny is the Final 4 vote out.
2 to 1 to 1 at Final 4. Wow.
That doesn't happen much anymore, ever. I mean, the last time it happened was pretty much never.
The 2 people from my original tribe stuck together and your 2 people split. That's just about being organized.
That is about being organized. Very poor planning from my tribe. And no, this is not a final 3. This is a final 2, so we're not finished playing just yet. I think that's a Russell quote.
Yeah.
Neil has won final immunity.
Well,
he cannot vote someone off the jury, though. And Neil's vote to eliminate Purple.
What did he do?
Nothing. Purple Kelly quit the game at Final 3. Just
that's amazing.
I don't know what to say.
Oh my gosh.
You're 1 day away from winning and you quit. That is like right up her legacy in this game.
I mean, to be fair, Neil probably votes her off anyway, but at least I vote you off.
Yeah. I'll be laughing at that for the rest of the night.
She quit hours before Neil was going to send her home anyway. But, yeah. Oh my gosh. That's my favorite part of this now. Because I'm guaranteed to have produced the winner now.
The finalists are Neil and Shian, who are now taking votes from the jury of Jenny, Kelly Kim, Purple Kelly, who twice now gets on the jury after quitting the game. Lex, Maria, Natalie Anderson, and Sean. The finalists vote for the winner, and we have first vote to Neil, Shian. Neil, Shian. And the rest are all Shian. Shian's won the game.
Woohoo!
You called it one of your winners. It was Jenny, Kelly Kim, Purple Kelly, Maria, and Sean voting for Shian. Natalie Anderson and Lex voting for Neil.
That feels on brand for Lex somehow.
That does.
So Ty was voting, the only person voting on fan favorite. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Click on, yeah.
And there's our final placement. Well, that was fun.
Click proceed one more time. I want to see the other statistics real quick. How many votes did Kelly Kim receive?
Kelly Kim votes 13.
Yeah, I was right. She had the most. Maria was only one behind her,
One
though.
behind at 12.
I thought it would have been a bigger gap than that, but
Purple Kelly came third place and didn't even get one vote the whole game.
she would have received the vote from Neil to send her home. I'm very confident.
Oh, I'm very confident too.
But
it's just the funniest thing ever. At least the funniest bread steal I've ever seen.
Kelly Kim has the most reward vote wins. Has an immunity. If Kelly Kim had made it to the end, she wins, I think.
Yeah.
Because she survived getting the most votes, which was all at like 3 or 4 tribals in a row, by the way. Maria's were kind of spread out, and Maria went home with like a almost unanimous tribal too. So that was most of her votes.
Very true.
Oh, that was fun. We gotta do that again sometime.
Yeah, we'll think of another theme to do it for sometime.
Well, the first couple months we had this show, we drafted players from other shows. We could bring that back to do a sim for it.
That would be fun.
With that being said, go check out BB Brains. Check out New Generation Challengers. Pit Stop Pals will be back at some point. Me and Kev are just both super busy this summer. And Roundtable Talk will be back at some point before the year 3000. So check out all those things and the Redbubble merch store. With that being said, grab your
tickets
and head back to camp.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Let's not head back to camp before we align blindside first boot someone.
I forgot about that. So don't head back to camp. You guys are stuck here. You have to vote someone else out. That's what the little bottle on my desk says that doesn't exist. Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
I will go first. I'm going to pick three players from my team for this one. And the names I'm going to give you are, excuse me, Lex, Jenny, and Sydney.
I'm going to first boot Lex because he's a strong player, and if I go to the end with him, I think I lose. But he doesn't take being blindsided well.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm going to blindside Sydney and align with Jenny. I really just don't know a ton about either of their games.
Makes sense.
Because Jenny just got overshadowed by the Cook Islands cast, and Sydney never played it. Only played at one tribal council. So
yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna agree with you on Lex. I'm gonna flip Jenny and Sydney and align with Sydney, just because I think we would have similar interests and would get along well as travelers. But that's really my only reason.
Nice. So I am going to give you the star of this simulation, Kelly Kim. Well, her and Purple Kelly were kind of both the stars. It went back and forth. But I'm going to give you the star of the fake merge with Sheehan. And then for some reason, because this is in my head, I think it's because we were talking about Island of the Idols. I'm going to go off the board from our simulation teams here and go with Detective Dean, who was Since I called the other 2 stars, I guess the star of the finale of that season. I don't know. He got
Nice.
time, I think.
I'm going to. So, Dean, Kelly, and
Sheehan.
Well, I'm going to first boot Sheehan. I mean, we've seen Sheehan in All Stars not play the most non-bitter game.
I thought for sure you were gonna first boot Dean. I'm surprised.
What would that be?
I don't know. I just had it in my head.
We've seen Dean lose in Final Tribal Council. I'm going to take him all the way to the end.
True.
And I think Dean did have that problem that he couldn't really justify his more cutthroat game against Tommy's very social game. And that leaves me to blindside Kelly, which is exactly what I would have done at the beginning of these 3 names anyway.
So I think I'm going to align with Kelly. She seems like someone that would be good to work with, and we'd work well together. I'm going to first boot Sheehan because, like you said, just kind of bitter on a jury. And so that leads me to blindside Detective Dean.
Nice. Yeah. Now we can all grab our torches and head back to camp.
Now you go back to camp, and I already did the advertising, so I hope you listened earlier when I told you what to do.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Bye.